AITA for telling my daughter she can say goodbye to the rest of her college fund? My daughter is 17 and applying for colleges. We have a college fund saved up for her that we've been adding to since she was an infant. It's a good sizable chunk of money, and a lot of donations from family have gone into it, as well as her own savings occasionally. We have always made it clear that the money in there is for college only. She never had to put her savings in there. Has a separate savings account, but did so anyway. Her girlfriend lives in Australia and they are both insanely big Supernatural fans. They have both wanted to go to a convention for years, at least 5 that I can remember. 2 of the main guys are going to be at a convention in Australia. She begged me to let her go. I said no, but the con is set for after her 18th. I can't stop her if she pays for it. I assumed she would use her savings. I checked the college account to add some in and noticed a chunk of money missing. I went to speak to my daughter about it and she admitted to using the money to pay for the convention. She bought herself plane tickets. Her girlfriend plane tickets. Other end of the country. Both of their con tickets, as well as booking a hotel. The con is 3 or 4 days, but she's planning on staying for a couple weeks and making a vacation out of it. All in all, she's taken about $10K. I lost it, honestly. Demanded she cancel, which fell on deaf ears. I tried to cancel for her, but she won't be refunded everything, so I'm hesitant to do so. She's insisting that it's her money and she can do what she likes with it. Claims she still has enough for college and this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I believe this has shown her extreme immaturity and inability to manage her future and money. I am so incredibly angry that she would go and do this. I told her she could say goodbye to the rest of her college fund and have locked the account. I'm now the only person with access. She said she'll pay it back, but it seems unlikely. My wife thinks I'm being harsh and that she's right. She put at least $5K into the account herself. So she really only took $5K, which my mother-in-law has since said she'll pay back. I think this just teaches her she can pay her way out of messes. I was certain in MH decision, but everyone is acting like I'm the asshole. She's a teenage girl and her entire life shouldn't revolve around college. I'm still uncertain. So here I am. AITA? I say NTA if you are going to make her pay back $5,000. I don't think she should have had access to withdraw from the fund in the first place, but I guess it was set up in her name and could be withdrawn from at 18. The money was set aside school, not just for whatever she wanted. I think the rest should stay for school, only she's lost the privilege of unrestricted access to the account. I'd be upset too, but wouldn't lose sight of the overall goal that she go to college and use what's left exclusively for that purpose. Set up the account where you distribute the funds, are paying for room, board, tuition, etc. from there, and that's it. When it's gone, she's now responsible for the loan or whatever. This life lesson will be learned outside the classroom for her. You put the money into the fund to send your daughter to college, not to some fan convention in Australia. Now you are making sure that that money doesn't help send your daughter to college. If this is your way of getting your daughter to college, it stinks. I can't help but note that you, the responsible adult, didn't set up the account with the withdrawal protections that you could have. You should have been wise enough to know that a 17-year-old with free access to that big of a pile of cash shouldn't have access to it without any limits. That in no way excuses your daughter, but it does mean that you should have had more foresight into the folly that teens can do. Mill is putting herself in where she isn't needed. She needs to understand that it isn't about dollars. It's about being responsible. NTA for telling your daughter that she isn't getting the money. But you would be a real idiot if you followed through with that to the extent of emptying the account. depriving yourself of the option to change your mind when you cool down and are looking at a high school graduate who needs a job. Info. Why did she have access to it in the first place? And given that she did have access, why not set up protections for withdrawal, usage? I don't think you should take the rest of her college fund away from its originally intended use. But it's good that it's locked down now. She never should have been able to access it. If she only really took $5,000 because the rest was what she put into it, you should get that much from her trip refunded and tell her she can come up with the rest because that money is for her education. If you just let her use what she took and go to the convention and her dream vacation, she still gets what she wants. Her college fund should not have been accessible to her, and her savings should have been kept separate and accessible. She's immature because she's young. Don't be immature and take away her college fund to add insult to injury. But do make the rest of it inaccessible to withdrawals except for college. Lesson learned. For everyone. NTA. But also don't go full nuclear. We were all dumb kids at one point. $10,000 is a lot. Don't get me wrong. But it's really $5,000. $5,000 is hers, as you said. I agree with locking the account. But I would not take it away entirely. Let her go. But just know she's out $5,000 unless she's willing to pay that back. In which case, goes right back to her, so it's in her best interest to do that. Maybe I'm being too nice about it too. I dunno. I think it's extreme to take her education away over a stupid teenager decision. Do whatever you think is best, but no. You're NTA. You have every right to be upset with her about it. I'd be upset but would just lock the account and tell her go and have fun, but the rest of the money is for college. $5,000 was her own money. And you can chalk the other $5,000 up to a graduation gift. Call it even and move on. This isn't worth getting into a pissing match over. We aren't guaranteed time in life. She could get hit by a bus or get cancer. Let her have this one thing that you know she loves. Yes. Let her use what money remains for college. If she has to borrow, she has to borrow. If she's old enough to make decisions about how she's going to spend that money, however poorly you think she decided, don't jeopardize her future over a fangirl pissing match. Besides, canceling would mean she'd get the money for airfare etc. back. The money has been spent. Info. How did she have access to those funds, especially as still legally a minor? I'm going to say YTA. First, she put her savings into the account as well. She put in at least $5,000. So it could be a lot more. You don't actually know. Secondly, claims she still has enough for college and this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I believe this has shown her extreme immaturity and inability to manage her future and money. It clearly seems like she has shown ability to manage her money and future. You haven't shown anything, or even told us that you checked to see if she was right about having enough for college. You just lost it on your daughter. There's especially different costs for different colleges and a ton of different options for things she can do with college that have a massive range of cost for them. Once-in-a-lifetime trips and opportunities are just that, once in a lifetime. Sometimes you miss them. But sometimes you've saved over $5,000 and you want to use it to take those chances. Honestly, this reads a lot more like you are upset she subverted your control rather than it being about the money. Did she have to pick a certain career path to use all the money? What happened if she went to community college and had $15,000 left over afterwards? You didn't even try to understand whether your daughter actually planned out her future or how the finances would work. You just lost it. I know the Australian dollar is low at the moment, but your daughter is going to find that Australia is a very expensive country. I hope she has access to spending money because I'd imagine most of that 10,000 has gone on fares and hotels. Alright, so 5K of it was hers. She put it in. So college fund money she didn't put in totals 5K. People other than just you put money into this thing. But you have made the choice on your own that the punishment is no more college fund. YTA. Now, she should NT have tooked more than 5K of that money. I'll say that, but you can't make this type of choice on your own. Your wife has a say in this. So does anyone who has put money into it proportionate to what was put into it. If majority of the money is your wife, then wife still has a large say in it. You don't get to make the choice on your own. Why did you even give your kid access to this account anyways? Lol, you could have put any money she wanted to put in yourself. Just talk and be diplomatic about this instead of deciding it all on your own. Personally, if it's paid back then let it go. That's a much more fitting thing than nuclear option. And for all those saying he should get something he and his wife always wanted, I think you missed the fact wifey doesn't agree with him. At the very least wife should be on board with whatever is done. The time I spent traveling abroad was much more educational than the $65,000 I've got in outstanding student loans. For a degree I didn't want. For a degree I don't use. I'm still in contact with the majority of those people 20 plus years later. YTA. She's going to go do what she wants, and if college wasn't meant for her in the first place, like it wasn't meant for me, she doubly got what she wanted. A once-in-a-lifetime trip with a close friend and not having to suffer through college. Bonus points for her if she was trying to figure out how to cut you out of her life for being overly controlling. No college fund. No emotionally manipulative father. YTA. I wonder who taught your daughter it was okay to make impulsive and unilateral decisions. Soft YTA. Not everyone is built for college. I'm Australian and we have what's called a gap year between finishing school and going to university. It's very common for youth to travel during this time. They get to learn about other cultures and see other ways of life. Yes, your daughter went behind your back and used money she earned, as you admit, combined with the college money, to see her girlfriend and attend a convention. But she's going to see another country. It's such a rare experience for many Americans. And I know it is because I'm married to an American and I live in the US. And I'm a travel agent. I am still so shocked that young people get punished for seeing the world. You should be happy she wants to travel and see things. You should be happy she has interests and has love. You should be happy she is actually mature and responsible enough to manage her own funds to the tune of an entire holiday abroad. But no, you chose to deny her future options because she chose to travel. End of the day, whatever money you put in, it is yours to do with as you please. If she can't attend college because of your choice, I hope you can live well with that. You also should not have been able to cancel any of her trip. Yes, you are her parent, but she's the one who made the bookings. Privacy laws still exist and you have zero say in things once they're paid. If you do manage to cancel anything, you honestly owe your daughter that money back in full if she loses it, and whomever helped you cancel things deserves to be fired. Instead of going nuclear with your nonsense. Why not offer your daughter the option of studying in Australia? Our universities are excellent and far more affordable even with the exchange rate. She'd be an international student but would have the ability to get her education, immerse herself in another culture, and would be able to spend time with her girlfriend and possibly build a life there. Beyond that, she would have the ability to return to the USA after the schooling is done, or, if she saved enough while there, she can look at immigrating. A rather easy process, just a little pricey. Hubby and I are doing it right now for him to shift there permanently. What she did was irresponsible. You clearly said no and she clearly went around you to use her college fund anyway. Both are also entirely predictable and to be expected from a teenager. Consider yourself lucky that she is rebelling by being a fan and not a baby mama. As for the college fund, you can certainly keep your position but clarify. Say goodbye means she has lost access. The remainder of the college fund will not be accessible to her, and you will pay for college directly from it. This ensures that the funds are not further wasted, but avoids discouraging her from going to college. As for teaching her that she can pay her way out of messes, that is actual life, so I'm not sure what the problem is. Paying it back means working and earning $5,000 at least to pay the half that wasn't hers. That seems like enough of a life lesson. Gently. You've gone over the top with your cutting her off reaction. You're mad she touched her college funds, so you took everything away. The reaction to blowing $5,000 is to remove college options from her completely? She has only taken $5,000 but still shouldn't have. She's said she'll pay it back. And as for paying her way out of a mess, it was money she took. So it needs to be replaced with money. I'd keep it locked for now and not give her further access. But this convention is a big deal to her, and those people don't come to Oz. So I can see why she's excited. If she's managed at 17 to save more than $5,000, then she's clearly not an idiot anyway. She's responsible enough to have done that. So you need to take some time to cool down and have a calm chat with her. Let her know you're upset but that you trust her to pay back the extra that she took. It sounds like a community fund that multiple people have deposited into, including your daughter. Sorry, but YTA, you are more focused on controlling your now adult daughter, and this is one of the last ways you can. So you are. This is how you permanently damage relationships. Hell, I caught my parents off for less until the day they died. Tread carefully. YTA. I just don't see how anyone benefits from this. So now she can't go to college without taking out student loans? Is that the end result here? That's going to hurt her entire life over a stupid thing she did as a kid. I think this just teaches her she can pay her way out of messes. And I mean, is this wrong? So many people avoid problem solving because they don't want to spend money. I think it's fine to lock the account so she can't spend it frivolously. And it's fine to want her to pay it back. I just don't see any long-term benefit to not using it for her college at all.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.